getting high and ending up in the hospital. It is happening more and more here in Ohio.
And the number is expected to keep climbing when the state's recreational marijuana law actually takes effect in a couple of weeks. WLWT News 5 investigative reporter Todd Dykes now with the data showing parents are calling poison centers more and more.
Well, saying it's the closest thing to a sure bet, a local expert is bracing for a significant rise in the number of kids from newborns to 19-year-olds who get their hands on edible forms of weed and need help ASAP.
Imagine being a young child and seeing these Snickerdoodle cookies or products called Chiba Chews, the candy, and watermelon wheels.
Kids see what they think is a treat, and so certainly will take a bite.
The only trouble is products like these are infused with marijuana meant for adults, and it can be marijuana that's designed to get people really high.
There's no question that the marijuana these days is more potent.
More potent and seemingly more available to kids and households throughout Ohio. Numbers from the state's 2 poison information centers, based here in Cincinnati and up in Columbus, back this up. The numbers reflect calls, most likely from parents freaked out because their kids, from babies to 19-year-olds, ingested some form of marijuana. In 2020, there were 380 such calls, with 157 related to edibles. Think marijuana-laced gummies and cookies and brownies. This year, through the end of September, those numbers jumped to 575 marijuana consumption calls, with 336 tied specifically to edibles. When you look at edibles alone, that's an increase of 115%.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Dr. Shan Yin heads Cincinnati's Drug and Poison Information Center based at Children's Hospital. He said the number of weed-related calls started rising after the first sales of medical marijuana in Ohio 4 years ago. Yin anticipates the call volume to keep climbing when the state's recreational pot program is fully up and running.
You could look at every state that legalizes marijuana. Their pediatric calls go way up. And so this is almost a sure bet if there ever was one.
In some cases, kids who eat weed end up in the hospital.
We can see a spectrum of symptoms and signs in a child that can range just from kind of giddiness. And oftentimes parents will say they seem high, but it can go as extreme as they are comatose. So we will see young children, 1-year-old, 2-year-olds, who will be essentially completely in a coma.
Thankfully, Yin says kids who end up in comas tend to recover within about 24 hours. During a recent trip to Michigan, which has had legal weed for several years, I asked cannabis attorney John Fraser what advice he has for Ohio families worried that weed will start falling into the hands of more children.
Parents need to be responsible in the same way they are with alcohol, right? These are intoxicating products. In Michigan, I imagine Ohio will do the same. All of our edible products have to be very clearly labeled. They can't be misleading or appealing to children.
But what's appealing to kids is clearly in the eye of the beholder, based on products I've seen in dispensaries across the country. Dr. Yen imagines lawmakers in Columbus will be mindful of that fact if they decide to tweak the pro-pot law voters approved on Election Day.
There is an opportunity now to engage the legislature in things like packaging and dosage, and safe packaging, safe storage regulations.
Now, Dr. Yen wants every parent to know that the Poison Center is not a government agency and it's a judgment-free place. He said call takers know accidents happen and that kids can get into all kinds of things. He encourages folks to reach out in the event a child eats an edible or some other substance, because it could actually save a family from having to make a trip to the emergency room, depending on the circumstances. Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.